Welcome to another episode of Dev Diaries. And today I'm going to take you through a step-by-step process of creating a struct NFT. The first thing that you want to do is that you want to go to the Phantasma Gitbook, select your SDK of your choosing, C#, Unity, whatever else. The second step is to create 4 files. The initiate, this is when you first create your NFT. The create series, when you create the series, and the mint, when you mint it. And the last step is to create your read NFT so you can read the data from that. And we're going to be creating a RAM struct today. So first, let's copy each one of these. Right, so I'll start off. Take your time. There's no rush for creating any of this either. So this is my initiate. I'm going to save that. Create token series. I'm going to save that, and I have my mint left. And the read is something I'll do personally, as I don't see, there's nothing on here at the moment for you to create a read. I'm going to Control V that. Okay, now the next step, this is just for me personally. I'm going to change where I get my data from. So I already have a config file created for me to, I already have a config file for me to get my data. So I'm going to go ahead and get that. So let me see. Go ahead, grab this. Should be white key. I'm just going to use it from here. Right here. And I'm going to copy that from here to every other file after I get done with this. Big file, RPC, URL, and I'm having this pointed to the DevNet environment. So let me just go ahead and start pushing these through, and I'm going to do them for all files. RPC, URL, what's next? Nexus. I'll just copy this. Just paste it into each file. I'll paste. I don't have to paste it. I will paste it there later. Now once I'm done with this, just change over this to what you need it as. C URL, and this is the Nexus. It's right here. Do that for all of these. All right. Okay. Okay, and one more. Oops. That would have been bad. Not really, it wouldn't have mattered. It just wouldn't have worked. Okay. Next thing, we're gonna need a few things now that we're done pasting it over. I believe, does this already have the NFT data? The original data that I will use? I guess not. So next thing, since we are using this, let me go back here and let me pull up this. The next thing you want to do is you want to look, I'll use this right here. I thought they had some right here. Okay, here we go. Since we are creating our custom token JSON, we're going to use this token builder from JSON, and we're going to basically use this as our JSON, right? So whenever you use a token, you want to build custom fields inside your Phantasma without going to the token deployment. I'm not saying you will have to, but if you want to customize it as much as possible, you will use this token builder from JSON. So let's use this. Right, like I said, this is there's no rush in any of this. We're going to change, I could have just changed that though, but we're going to change that to, wait a minute, there we go. We're going to change that to from JSON, and we're going to just create our JSON, and this JSON must be stringified whenever you push it through. So whatever you have your JSON in here, make sure you stringify it. turn it to a string. And I'm going to just copy what they had and remove some fields from here. Let's copy this. Then let's just take it here, paste it here. I'm going to get rid of all the ROM. I'm only going to keep this metadata on here. I do not feel like going through and doing too much on the ROM right now, adding extra fields. And I'm going to get rid of the RAM, but we'll use the RAM later on. We're going to craft our own RAM. All right, right over here, we're just going to say, I mean, this really don't matter. I'm going to leave this by itself, and I'll just probably update this icon. Nothing else matters right now. So let me remove this icon. All right. So icon, and I'll change this NFT right here. As an example, you can fill this out with whatever you want to, the name, description. But on here, this must be capitalized. So I'll just name this, Struct test part 1. Although if you look through my wallet, or you look on the chain, you will see that this isn't struct test part 1. It's more so struct test part 2 or part 3. So let's get this finished. Let me make sure everything else is looking fine. Now the next thing to do is, where should I do that at? I'll do that right here. We're going to build the struct. Build the struct. Jesus. But I'm going to say RAM struct. But right now, since it is going to be RAM. So right now, in order to build this, it should not be difficult. It's going to just take some simple things, and I'll go through and I'll show you. Oops, my apologies. I can't build it right here because I'm using token schemas right here. So let me build that underneath here. And when I say token schemas, I have to set the RAM on token schemas. I have to set it to this one right here. I have to basically set this RAM that I get back from here, from this. So it should be here. So I basically have to say token schemas dot RAM is equal to, I'm just going to say RAM schema. And that's what I'll have to do. For right now, I'll leave that. And that way I won't have to worry about that. So let's start building the RAM, right? The first thing we want to do is we want to declare it a new. This is just a struct schema. No matter what, you will declare this. I don't know what struct schema builder is. And I'll have to include that on here. Okay, so you do want to declare that. So basically, this struct schema will look similar to this. This is all this is saying. This is a struct right here, right? So now, once we have our struct, now we want to start building out the variables that will be in our struct. So in order to do that, let's just call this nested schema. And this will equal to a new struct schema as well. Okay, we want to push in whatever we want on our variables. So right now, I'm just going to push in, let's say, new, no, that's not it. And I'm going to have to add this in here too. View variable name schema. Nested 1. I'm going to change this anyway. Nested 2. Let's say this got added. It did. And on here, I'm going to have this as, I'm going to call this person name. Or yeah, person name. Person age, VM type dot string. I'm gonna have to add this on here. Where am I at? And this right here should be a VM type. Age. Really? I don't need a 32. I think a 32 is kind of crazy. You know, as age, I think the highest age, I mean, nobody's, I'm not saying nobody, but I think 255 is okay for age, you know, as a max, or 250. It should be 255. Okay, now we have our nested schema. The next thing we need to do is that we need to go ahead and push this into what will be our, we need to just combine these basically. So we need to combine this to get pushed into this, right? So how do we do this? How do we oh wait a minute, I'm not even done yet. I'm tripping. If I do this, this is just adding it to this. I need this to be named so this can be called. So I didn't even do a struct yet. My apologies. Let me actually start the struct. So right now this is just the variables that will go into the struct. The struct can be how do I want to do this? I'll do it right here. Let's just call this struct schema. And as you guessed it, we are not going to use what we used before. So we're going to use a VM variable schema. I'm not sure what some of that other stuff is though. That's not a part of what I believe it is. New VM variable schema. I'm gonna add that on there. Variable schema. Now we have this. What we want to do is we want to set its type and what the struct of that is. So right now we're going to say that this new VM schema is going to be a struct. And what is that struct going to contain? It's going to contain this nested schema. Okay, now that we have that, now we're ready to push this into here, right? So remember, we still haven't named our struct yet. I mean, they really just kind of gave you something. I wasn't ready for this yet, but it's fine. We can use this. We're going to take this, and I'm not going to call it my struct. I'm going to call it person. Right, and for this, I'm going to remove this. You don't need this struct VM struct. We already declared it a struct right here. There's no point in say double struct, so we're going to remove this. So this is fine. And this is not variables, this is fields. And once you look into the code base, you'll understand what I'm saying when you're looking at any of this, right? So that's it for this. Let me make sure we have everything right. We have our schema, we have our RAM. Okay, now let's set this RAM equal to this. Okay, now that we have everything ready, we are ready to go ahead and let me add one more thing on here. We are ready to submit this transaction, but there's one thing I want to do. Unfortunately, sometimes this moves too fast, so you don't want it to move that fast. All right, let's resolve. Let's wait like 2 seconds after we do that. Where is this at? Walkthrough. Yeah. CXX. Carbon knit. Okay, let me make sure I'm on the right RPC. Yep. I got my width. Yep. Oops, see, error right there. Yep, this is fine. This doesn't matter to me besides the icon. This is the most important part, so I have to make sure that this is correct. So create this struct schema, create the nested schema. I think this is valid. Once I create that, then I'll create the schema for the struct, the overall struct schema. Struct, and the struct will contain this nested schema. All right, and then I want to push this person. I'm naming this, and this will be all of this. The struct schema will be all of this. Okay. Okay, I'm done. Now let me go ahead and save that. Let me go run this. Okay, carbon ID 159. Let's take that. Create series, carbon ID 159N. The next thing we want to do, you want to verify. So let me verify that this is actually on here. We're going to go to the Phantasma Explorer. Let's look at the transactions. I know this is my transaction. Nobody's on here at the moment, besides me and probably Doka, right? So as you can see, struct one, fee, whatever else, and it should be here as well. If you go here, we refresh this, struct one. If you need to see your carbon ID 159 right here, let's see how struct is looking. Metadata, yeah, this doesn't matter. Token schemas, yeah, let's get to the potatoes, the meat. Here we go. RAM field, person, type, struct, person name, string, person age, int 8. Yeah. So this is looking fine. Now I am not going to create a series right here. I'm going to create the series. I mean, I can create it right here, to be honest with you, if you want to save time, since I just have my ROM. I have no custom fields that matters. But anyway, I'm going to go back to the script just so you can see the script. So right here, let's see what matters right here. Metadata. This doesn't matter. My stuff is named the same. I think I could really just create this anyway. I don't really think I need anything special for this. So metadata is pretty standard, since I'm not doing anything special. Let me just take this, create the series, go here, oops, save this, double check one thing, carbon ID, fine. And unfortunately, I probably will have to take it from here. I didn't think I had to, but all right, let me take this. R, where did I get the C from? Wait a minute, I just want to make sure. Okay. Sometimes you gotta verify that you haven't messed anything up. I'm just setting these fields right now. All right, anyway, I'm just gonna add this. Doesn't matter. Okay, this is looking fine. All right, do I got my awake? Yeah, let me just add a little something right there. Yeah, there really might not be a problem with this. I think waiting was enough though, but let's verify that I did token JSON. Yep. Series schema, token by series metadata. Yep, that's fine. That's fine. Metadata, that's fine. Okay. This should be fine. Carbon token ID is that 159. Yeah, let's look at one thing. Sorry, let me look at this. Where is it at? Let's go back to the Explorer. Let's go back to transactions. I shouldn't have to refresh. So I guess I did create a series. Yeah, sometimes it is the timeout. So we could look back at the error, but sometimes it is a timeout that you didn't time out quick enough, or that you didn't put enough timeout on there. So I guess 2 seconds sometimes isn't enough. Yeah, hex create token series helper. So this is created. Let's go ahead and go to the mint. Now the mint is where things can get a bit tricky. We're gonna need 159 from this. Since we did create that, that is going to be 1. And oh yeah, also you can verify it another way too. Go back here. If your series was minted, you can say mint. So you do have a carbon series 1 right here, right? Oh, sorry. Let me deselect this. I want to select that. There we go. So you should have this carbon series 1. You should have your person struct. Okay. As I was saying, I did attempt this before, and you see carbon series 1 test error. But anyway, let's go right here and let's go finish off what we were doing. Stick to the mission, my man. Stick to the mission. Okay. Now that we have this copied and pasted, we're going to need a few things from this. This is where stuff gets not tricky, but more so you have to get this right, or you will mess up your data, right? The first thing you are going to want to do to keep it simple, copy everything that you have from this. Not everything, my apologies. I think you might need this token JSON for this as well, because you will need to create this. So copy this token JSON. Actually, copy. Yeah, just copy what you got from this token JSON. Copy this. Put it. Put it above this. Put it above this. So copy this. Remove this. You're going to keep this. Remove this. Put this down here. All right. Next thing you want to do, go back to your carbon initiate. You want this whole schema right here. The schema that you had, you want to take this whole thing. Do not hesitate. Take it. Mint NFT and paste that right here. And you're going to just do the same thing. Since it's not in here, remember you got to add some of this. Yeah, whatever. Oh man, I was hoping they did it for me. Struct schema. I don't think that's one. I do need one more thing. I could have waited though, but I need this as well. Okay. Now we still have our RAM schema. This is now where we want to put information in our RAM, right? We want to build that RAM data struct. We want to make sure that the information we put in there is in the correct order and that it updates however you want it to update, right? So in order to do that, let's start crafting our data. So what we need for that, I want to get this out the way real quick. Just add a little space so that's not in your face. Right, we'll remove the space later. So you'll need a RAM. I could use that. I'm just gonna call it RAM data struct. Is equal to our new VM dynamic struct. Get this out the way. We don't need that. Sometimes the AI just adds stuff and you don't want that on there. Like this right here isn't even a way to add it. You can't say RAM.set. Right, so just ignore that and just keep it pushing. So we're gonna say, I'm gonna use a let RAM data nested struct. This isn't this. Let's remove this out the way. We could kind of copy how we did it up at the top. So we're gonna copy some of this at the top because you need to. Yeah, get this. There we go. No. Okay. Now we need our we're gonna need our data struct schema. So It's kind of the same thing that we used up here. So I'm just going to copy this. Where is this at? So you can just copy what you have right here a little bit. Sometimes this stuff gets on my nerves. Oh my God. I didn't even know I had it up there, but I guess I did. See, this is what I'm saying. Anyway, let's go back. So now I am almost finished. New VM. So I got my RAM struct. I don't have the name on there yet, so I need to put this name on here. I have my nested schema, do I not? No, I didn't actually have that on there, so I need to do both. Okay. Let me add in car info. Not car info, I'm sorry, that was the name of my old one. Person. I should separate this, to be honest with you. But right now, I'm gonna say new. Okay. Now this is where you have to be careful when we do this. Let's set up our metadata for this. This is what we're going to use on here. The data we're going to push around metadata field. No. Oh, sorry. I guess I did need that. Well, let me set this right here. Put this in. You shouldn't complain. Name. Person. Value. Oh, thank you. Person name Alice 30. Actually, we'll use that. That's fine. That's fine already. That's fine already. So whatever the name of your struct is, which was person, we're going to set that as a name, and the value will be the value that you have of whatever you pushed in your struct. So it'll say person, this person age will be Alice, or this person name will be Alice, and this person age will be 30. Okay. Now let's go ahead and push this in here. So there's something on here we're going to need to add that in here called push metadata field. And this will take three things. It's going to take your dynamic struct. It's going to take the schema that you have, and then it's going to take your metadata. So remember that it will take this dynamic struct right here. All of this above this, let me make sure. Right here is just setting in your just setting back your regular struct for whenever you created it in the previous time. All of this right here is setting it up from this point on down. You're setting it up to push data into your struct. This and above is basically the same thing you did in initiate. You're just setting that up. Right, so let's go ahead and push this metadata field. I'm gonna have them do this. I'm gonna remove this. I'm gonna say RAM metadata. I'm assuming this isn't the name. RAM data struct. It should be RAM data struct. Unless I have this, let me make sure. Field scheme. Okay, I have this flipped. There we go. All right, now we are almost done. Right? Everything is looking fine, but it's not fine until we add one more thing. So let's go down. Let's make sure everything is looking a-okay. We're going to have our ROM builder. That's fine. We don't have to worry about that. We're using our schema on this. That's something that they already created up here. So you don't have to worry about any of that. Phantasma ID, that would be unique identifier. That's already created. It should be somewhere. Well, I probably passed it by. If I didn't, then here we go. I know I probably passed it by. And this, boom, carbon token, carbon series, keys, creator, ROM. And this would be our data struct right here, right? So if we want to actually do this for our data struct, we need to do two things. We need to convert this into bytes and then push that in there. So to convert it to bytes is real simple, right? You'll need a few things for this, and I'll do this right underneath this just to stay consistent. So I'm going to call this a let RAM. Let's call it RAM writer. I don't really need to though, but I'm just going to call it RAM writer. Is equal to new carbon writer. Binary writer. Then I want to just I need to write this onto this. Right. If this is wrong, then this must go here. And do I not have this in the right way? It should be RAM right. Oh, apologies. I'm thinking of my read. I'm really thinking of the read. My apologies. I'm doing that the wrong way. So I'll write this, and then I'm just going to call this payload. RAM bytes is okay. RAM bytes is okay. Oh my God, sometimes this is so slow. Okay. Now we're done. And one more thing we're gonna add. We're gonna add this. Boom. Put it right here between here. Let's add one more second to this. Oh, I took away a second. I meant to add 1 second. Okay. Now let's just double check when we creating our stuff. Oh, something's not right. What is nested schema? I mean, I guess that's fine. It shouldn't matter. I could have just used this though, but I'm going to use this. These are the same thing anyway, so I do not have to retype this. I probably don't even have to retype this either, to be honest with you. It's just the way that I've did it before. I've done it before. And let me just make sure. That should be good. I don't think I'm using token schemas anywhere else. Yeah, I don't think I really need token schemas. I think I could just replace that. I don't really need any of this up here. So this, if you create any of this, I'm sorry, you did that for naught. I meant I'm going to have to create this for the read though, but don't worry about it. Right here and under, this is the important information that you'll need. But you know, what's done is done. What's done is done. All right, let me go ahead and go I'm sorry, npx. And the problem with my keyboard is it's too big for my hands. I gotta travel too far across to do what I need to do. I have to get a smaller one. Struct carbon. Not create series. What do I need to do? Carbon mint. All right, that's fine. Save that. And let's see if everything is looking pretty good. Okay. Let's see if we have stuff created. Actually, let me go here. Let me move this over here. I think this is it. I'm gonna open this asset. Good. I got my mint. Let me copy my token ID. Where am I at next? And this is the last stretch. We are done after this. I'm just gonna say this is my NFT ID. Actually, wait a minute. Let me save this off board real quick, because all I'm gonna do is just take this, copy this, paste this here, and then for my read, I don't need half of this stuff that I have, to be honest with you. So all I'm gonna do is for my read is I'm really just gonna write it. I mean, my apologies. I'm really just gonna read whatever I had and not waste any time. So I'm gonna just copy my read that I had somewhere else, and then I'll step you through it step by step. Okay. So let me take this. Let me paste this. Let me grab wherever I put my key at. So that should be fine. Okay. So let's get rid of all of this. All right, like I said, this is when I was doing my car model. Let me just replace all of this struct schema right here with the stuff that I didn't need. Oh, where's my from VM struct schema? Place this on down, and that should be it. Okay. Now I'm not done yet, but this is most of what I would have needed. Let me go ahead and double check something on this. All right, I have this NFT RAM hexabytes. I don't know where hexabytes came from. I think that was something from what's that called? Something from, I don't know where I got it from, but hexabytes. I think this is fine right here once I get the RAM.bytes. RAM bytes link. This should be fine. Don't need this. VM dynamic struct. Read with schema, RAM schema. Yeah, this should be fine. This should be fine. This should be fine. This is fine. This is fine. Okay, so let me just step through this real quick. This isn't fine though. What is my what did I name this? All right, now for the read. The read is pretty simple. You need your NFT address, the token symbol, and we're going to use I don't really need that. Where is this at? Get NFT. This RPC get NFT. That's it. Once we get that, we should be able to get the RAM bytes. As you see how I am NFT data. Where am I getting it at? How I'm getting it right here. I thought this would already came as bytes though, but this is fine. If so, I'll just change this. And then once we get that, we start up our Carbon reader. We'll read that, read the schema, and it should work once we read the schema. Just stringify it and put it out. So let me clear all of this. Carbon read NFT. All right, let's find out. And there we go. There go our data right here. As you can see, I'm just gonna copy this. I really thought this would have. What a shame. What a shame. Okay. So as you can see, this is our data right here. We're gonna have our person struct. Ignore the error right here. That's just me copying stuff, messing stuff up. But we're gonna have our person struct. As you can see, it's gonna contain a few things. The value of this person struct is a 4, which means that it is a struct. Within Phantasma language, a 4 is a struct. I'm gonna go down the fields in this struct. Remember, the name is still going to be person. This is a struct. The fields of this is going to be person age, type 6, which is a integer 8. Name person, type 22, which is a string. So now I taught you how to read an NFT to verify that everything that you put in is correct. And yes, that's basically how you, let me save this as well. That's basically how you read NFTs and verify that everything is working from the beginning to the end. From initiating to creating to minting and then reading. Next, once I learn how to update the RAM, I'll continue off from this and I'll update a field. But thank you if you were here for 41 minutes. I appreciate your time. And yeah, have a good one. Take it easy. This is the end of the Dev Diary.